All right. Well, now that you've seen how the PLC questions fold into the instructional cycle, we want to talk a little bit about how Roy G. Bibbs and our continuum of supports fits with analyzing student work as well. And what our premise is going to be is that if we're spending time in the beginning portions of this, it makes our analyzing student work a lot easier. And what I'm going to show you is that if we're breaking down our power standards into essential content and targets that we want students to reach, and if we translate that into the proficiency scales and have assessments that match that, then we have already a categorization system that helps us analyze student work. Okay, now we're going to transition from our comments about how using the proficiency scale actually helps with the analyzing student work process by looking at and actually going through some of the protocols and the process involved in this. Now, we do have two very similar analyzing student work protocols that you can look at. One is colorful and has a little more information regarding positive attributes of the student, and the other one is a little more detailed in the differentiation, but they're both very similar. If you look at this current form, and you are looking also at your completed proficiency scale, you're going to find that this first step is really just taking the learning target from your unit or your assessment and translating it right into the protocol, and then going ahead and sorting those categories of students through the proficiency scales. Okay, we're now going to move to the next screen, which actually shows the actual data you would, as a team or an individual teacher, analyze. Now in this final stage, this is where the heavy lifting occurs, and we will actually be analyzing student work and all the way through to differentiating instruction. Now a couple key points here is that we are not going to be analyzing every student in each category. It not only is inefficient, but it also muddies the differentiation. The theory behind this is that you pick one representative student from each category and you analyze that student's work to see how you're going to differentiate. Based on that, the others in that same category group will benefit from that differentiation as well. Secondly, when we are at this analyzing the one representative student's work, we are not going to just start at the exceeding or the far below. Similar and parallel to the process of building proficiency scales where we start at the proficiency level, that's also where we will start the analyzing student work. So as an example, if we are looking at a math project and looking for the ability to use volume and other dimensions in a project, we would kind of list those categories under the proficient scale. That the design was drawn to scale and the equations were accurate. So once you've kind of defined that proficiency area, then you can kind of move to those in the approaching standard and the exceeding standard as a way to address the gamut of students in your classroom. The final leg of the analyzing student work is probably the most important, and that's literally taking the characterized behavior or